Bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway?
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about an early look at the 2026 draft for the Dallas Cowboys. This is serious? Cowboy time, baby. Yeah, man. So this is where you separate the mock drafters, the guys that love draft, and the casual fan. The casual fan will be like, what is this? It's too early. We just barely finished the draft and this and that. But it's a new year, man. I'm getting back to my roots here at the channel. And yeah, man, we're gonna hit the college, coverage all year round. And I'm not saying I'm gonna have mock drafts during the off season, but we'll be keeping an eye on the prospects and we'll be discussing them quarterly through the season. So we'll be discussing them, checking in on the prospects, checking in on draft needs and this sorts of things to keep everybody in the know and familiar with some of the prospects. So today in this video, we're gonna do a 2026 super early look mock draft for the Cowboys, okay? And we're gonna use the PFF simulator. So without further ado, guys, let's get into an early look at the Cowboys 2026 mock draft. Here we go. In this mock draft, Cowboys, they're drafting 9th in PFF. So I don't know if they're calculating that for strength of schedule, potential wins and losses. So in this draft, we drafted 9th. I got Anthony Hill Jr., the linebacker out of Texas. All right. As you guys know, my college team is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I know the players very well. The second team that I usually watch is Texas. I like Texas football. If you're living here in Texas, you get to watch a lot of the games, SEC and this sorts of things, right? So pretty familiar here with Anthony. And coming out his freshman year, he came out like a torpedo. I mean, this guy is the real deal. He reminds me of a young Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith was a freshman starter, and I remember seeing him as a freshman. I knew you're gonna see this kid play on Sundays. That's how I feel about Anthony Hill Jr. From his freshman year, I was like, this kid, he's going to be an NFL player. Sophomore year, another good productive year. You see the improvement. Really good sideline to sideline linebacker, there for the Longhorns. And good downhill tackle for loss. Good instincts. Weaknesses, I think, would be you really don't want to have him in a pass coverage. You know what I mean? I think in pass coverage, he kind of got his lunch, ate a little bit. He can hold his own, but you don't want to see him in pass coverage. He's not a pass coverage linebacker. He's a traditional, guy that's going to seek and strike sideline to sideline. Very, very good linebacker. I think he's going to be one of the better linebackers to come out of Texas. He's better than Overshown. He's going to be better than Carson Swinginger, right? The one that just came out that a lot of us liked. He's better than him, and he's going to get better this season. This season, Texas football, they're expected to be in the playoff run. You're gonna have Archie Manning. Another good group of wide receivers for these guys, and the defense, is going to be pretty good as well. So a young defense, and he's going to be leading the way. I think he's going to be one of your leaders there on defense. So Anthony Hill Jr. is going to be the pick for the Cowboys. Linebacker could be a need here for the Cowboys. I think it will be because, you're going to get a look at Maris Liafeu. Did he make the jump? Is he a Eberflus type of guy that he going to take him under the wing and continue to develop him? So he's a good linebacker. I believe that Maris will do well. He takes the craft seriously. He's not going to mess around in the offseason. So I expect a jump from him. And then, the Cowboys drafted Shamar James this past draft in a late round, right? In the 5th. So, or was it the 6th? So you got him. But if you want a premier guy in the first round, you get you that linebacker. Overshown, coming back from back-to-back major injuries. He tore that knee up really bad. I'm not expecting the same player, man. It has an LVE type of vibe where, you're not going to be the player that you were, sustaining these types of injuries. Unfortunately, I love Overshown, but you gotta keep this thing going, man. Don't stop. So for me in this mock draft, take a look at this. This is how it fell, and these are some of the prospects. And Clemson's gonna have potentially a lot of defenders in this draft. Very good defenders, I gotta say. They got the edge rusher, they got the defensive tackle, they got the cornerback. They're pretty going to be pretty loaded if all these guys indeed come out. So Clemson is going to be represented pretty well in this draft here on defense. Lots of O linemen from what I can tell. Some cornerbacks, edge rushers. This next draft is going to be more traditional. It's going to be way better than this last draft that we just had this past draft. So I'm already looking ahead to it, man. So that's what I have for the Cowboys. I was hoping Jeremiah Love would have fell to me there at 9, and we'll see how his season looks here for the Fighting Irish. But he's one of your top running backs coming out in the NFL in 2026. I would love to add him into the mix. Jadon Blue, like I said, is one piece of the puzzle. 2026, get that other piece in the draft. Maybe you get a running back somewhere, first to third round, maybe again in the fifth. What about Phil Maffa and this and that, dude? Like, come on. Like, the thing about the draft, there's a lot of overreaction as far as like your late round picks. It happens every year, and I'm starting to really ignore that noise, man. It happens with the undrafted free agents as well. This dude's definitely making the team, and then they don't, right? So, I'm expecting Jadon Blue to be that dude, and the second guy that's going to be part of that tandem will come out of 2026. But for this year, Jadon Blue is going to be coupled with, one of these other vets on the team. But that's all I have for today, guys. Early look at the 2026 draft. I gave the Cowboys a linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas. Let me know what you guys think of the linebacker out of Texas. If you watch him, let me know what you think of him. All right, I'll see you for the next one. Peace.
Yeah, old school, baby.